welcome to the 20th BOH Cameronian Arts Award on set. Today we have the nominees of Best Feature Lead Performance in Dance, Geetha and Naim, my dance colleague here. Okay, what does it mean to truly embody a character in a non-verbal art form as dance?
Well, in the art form that I practice, it's become automated, unlike some of the art forms where you have to sing the song in live. Today, that performing manner has changed. In the initial stages of performing arts, one has to sing the song and also say the words.
But dance is a non-verbal
in some art forms,
no?
you have to recite. It's almost like a theatrical presentation. But where we are today, it is just non-verbal. And in this production for Samskara, we used sound. We used theatre to incorporate the medium so that it becomes a wholesome composite, presentation. Then also I get to think about writing a script that's relevant for what is surrounded in my family, the talents, and also my thinking process that I like, the organic growth and development, and also an interactive opportunity with an audience. So sound in an intimate setting, as the venue was, gave me the chance, while it was non-verbal, to also exercise to see how I can improve on the qualities of theatrical, because Natya Shastra is about theatre. So using theatre as an influence, music, dance, acting, presentation, it becomes a wholesome presentation for me.
So dance itself is not just movement to you, it's the whole theatrical production.
Yes, it is, because the Navarasas, or the expression of Indian dance, is a captivating and alluring form of attraction for the audience. And that's the fascination about Indian classical dance. So the strange thing is, people do not know that Natya Shastra is about the art of theatre. So how does dance come into it? It is one aspect of it. So the manner in which I wanted to do the presentation was to incorporate these different factors that make it completely a kind of a whole meal.
What do you think, Naim? Is it the same for contemporary genre?
Kita tahu kan, bila kita nak menari is all about body language kan, tanpa mengeluarkan apa-apa sound ke apa ke. But now, like kita sekarang dah berubah kan. So dalam dance pun kita perlu masukkan elemen-elemen macam Tisha cakap, theatrical element dalam tu, text. So macam I dalam transposition pun ada juga kita masukkan elemen-elemen text, dialog untuk menyampaikan sesuatu yang I think like macam biar orang berfikir. Sometimes dia kena fikir in term of body language, but now bila kita sebut something pun audience akan berfikir, betul ke apa yang the situation yang berlaku sekarang dalam dunia ni ke whatever semua. So nak tak nak memang dia adalah benda yang apa tu macam overlap lah.
Like you did have in the show what we call pedestrian type of movement rather than just dance, pure dance itself.
Yeah, sometimes benda yang simple tu lebih powerful.
Yes.
Instead of kita menari macam orang gila, orang tak faham. Betul tak? Kita menari macam orang gila, orang tak faham apa dia buat ni. Betul aku jalan je, oh dia jalan. Tapi ada meaning, makna jalan tu, dia nak ke mana? Betul tak?
In Indian dance, they have these two aspects. They call the classical, and then they call the desi, or the people.
Pure dance.
Pure dance. And also you can make it classical, and then you make it relevant to the people. So what we are doing now in performing arts is the attempt is to make the human body that is today, the generations today, to understand what's so complicated about our story, that it actually comes from you. Isn't that what contemporary dance is?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any go through some sort of ritual or pre-show preparation?
Macam I tak adalah, I pergi je. Yang I tahu dalam kepala otak I, okay aku nak perform kejap lagi, just pergi je, let's go je. I tak perlu nak macam, I tak tahu, ni bukan I lah. I bukan tak suka lah, bukan diri I macam nak duduk diam, meditate ke. Bukan I. For me, because maybe sebab I ni masih muda kan? Muda.
Ya, muda. Okay.
So bila kita tu, the energy tu masih ada lagi. So nak tak nak, the adrenaline tu, nak perform tu, pergi je. Kalau, mungkin bila I dah berumur sikit kan, mungkin I perlukan that. I perlukan meditation tu sebelum nak show sebab kita nak fokus semua kan. But for now, I just pergi tak buat apa pun. Tapi yes, dulu dekat Aswara, yes. Kita sebelum perform, we call it 7:30 circle lah. So every crew, ensemble semua buat circle 7:30, berdoa untuk show kan, untuk minta restu ke apa semua. Doa semua, settle, salam, buat show lah. But now I tak praktik.
He just said the older person. Oldest for me,
No.
I need a quiet time before, I need preparation. I don't want too much text, too much going on. Prepare. What about you?
Well, it's interesting what Naim shared because in the training that I have gone through, the cultural requirement is about spirituality because dance, Indian classical dance, is very much associated to spirit. I think all Asian art forms are. So we are just the vessels that have to embody the spirit of the character that's going to come. So in order to do that, there's always a 45-day preparation that one has to prepare in the actual sense. And I've been through that. But today, as we are living with the current generations and the speed in which we have to multitask in a day, sometimes you can do it faster, or sometimes, as I say, I do envy just what you said. I just want to be in the moment of being happy instead of being so strict and rigid, being away from everybody else. I want to connect with the younger generation. So how do I play this to get the younger generation to understand this is how we trained in the traditional, but we must also be mindful of boundaries without crossing the line. So how I prepare is to learn the middle path. If the generation with me is a younger group, I teach them how to be quiet, to do all the boundary setting, but I also have the understanding of laughing and joking and making, and the relaxed atmosphere is relaxed. But for me personally, yes, after I've done all my work, especially in Samskara, I needed to focus on one thing that Hari reminded me. Ma, this production is unique because it's about you. So don't try very hard to go back to a place where it is punishing, because when we have a paying audience, the audience expects so-and-so, Geetha Shankaran-Lam, to be maybe 18 years old. What are we going to get from her? So the reminder in this production was, if I can just be authentically me at my age, at 55, what can I give back? So the preparation was not to go back to when I was 12 or 14, but to enjoy that I'm a woman who has achieved all that, and just now enjoy the moment, keep some mindfulness of some meditation, keep my knee guards all on, prepare my body that way for the hectic session that's going to happen. And the audience is prepared of my injuries. They know the story is about injuries, a woman coming through that, and therefore we were interacting that way. So that means the whole timeline has changed in the manner in which I prepare. So I don't have to lock myself in the room, not see my audience. I wasn't doing that.
How did Samskara challenge the conventional representation of aging, like you say, dancing, healing in Bharatanatyam?
Well, that's the whole point. Because I was this factor only, I had to write the story for Samskara. Samskara, as you know, is about the past, which is the past story of dancing, Indian classical dances, embodying the life or spirit of something that's divine or other. And your own body has to go through the transformation. And in the process of experiencing it, something changes on stage. You get helped. And also the struggle for the dancer is when we watch anybody in any form, the audience is uplifted to say, wow, oh my God, wow. So that upliftment is about courage. The rasa is bravura. So the audience that came to Samskara actually read the scripts to say, this lady is at this age, after all her hard work and years of all that, and we are reading about her pain, her injuries, and her heartache, and what is she going to tell us? So the narrative was already there. So for me, the aging was the highlight. And I told this to my master, it is amazing that the line of aging for a woman and the menopause and all that sold the tickets, and it was a full house. That people actually bought the tickets because of the aging word. What is Geetha going to do at 55 at this age? What is she going to do? Let's go and see. And it was a very kind audience that came. So 3 days full house.
Yeah, for me, it was a very authentic performance because you didn't try to dance or behave like when you were much younger. You didn't try to hit a certain thing. You just dance as you are. And it's, for me, it was calming. It was really, really nice to watch. It was really nice to watch. For me, also, it's quite emotional in that sense. You know, I can see that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay, for Naim, what are the characteristics of contemporary dance piece? You know, what is unique about that work in transposition?
The uniqueness dalam transposition, which is I dengan Fairul, the choreographer, kita combinekan elemen-elemen tradisional dalam kita punya choreography, which is kami ambil elemen tarian silat and how we layerkan dia, how nak nampakkan dia lebih unik lah. Sebab benda ni memang selalu orang buat. Dekat Malaysia ni, mostly choreographer Melayu kan, Malay choreographer, dia always nak nampakkan satu benda yang unik, dia akan masukkan elemen-elemen tradisional dalam dia punya koreografi. So, for me, kita orang pun cuba lah. Benda ni klise, tapi kita cuba buat juga and nak menampakkan lebih keunikannya koreografi tu, then kita masukkanlah elemen-elemen tradisional, which is silat dalam piece tu lah.
But for me, when I watch it, the uniqueness is your narrative, because you are involved some sort of current news and currents going on or political our society thing going on into the dance piece. How do you relate that with your benda-benda macam silat and all these things that you put in?
Betul. Yeah, because I think Fairul kan, dia punya otak ni, dia suka tau elemen-elemen politik dalam koreografi dia. For me, dia bagus that side. So my side is more kepada how nak combine movement silat tu, traditional tu, into choreography, contemporary choreography. So from dia idea so kita orang nak gabungkan tu memang dia susah sikit lah. Tapi because dia cerita tu ada, so dia menguatkan lagi how I nak masukkan elemen elemen silat dalam I punya koreografi tu lah. Dia susah, tapi for me dia berjaya sebab dia cabar kita as a choreographer how nak membuatkan piece tu tak terlampau the politic side tu tak terlalu obvious. So how I nak mergekan dia jadi satu koreografi yang tak terlampau straightforward and how biarkan audience
not too in your face, not forceful. That's good. How has this production influenced your identity as Malaysia dancer?
Well, I think it's because we are Malaysian, therefore the interpretation is colourful. I would look at it this way. Being born in a country that is naturally, we have fallen in love with the stories of the diversity from young. The DNA has already developed this person as I am. So I think, and also I meet the teachers I've met in this country have imbibed in me, given me their best of whatever that is nurtured right from 60s. You know, I followed all the names that became the pioneers of these art forms, and I fell in love greater to want to do something back for my community. So taking up classical dance and can't change that part of it, which is so beautiful, which is our innate nature to have the three cultural traditions in. So creating, choreographing, composing, and then also meeting my spouse becomes something that is spontaneous and natural. So everything that I think or write or believe and create in my choreography, as it's obvious, it is very Malaysian, but the foundation is the spiritual India. Because that is part of a DNA that comes from a history of our ancestors that have moved, migrated and lived here. So that is passed on. Again, I'm a flag bearer of that tradition for women that is not allowed. So I'm doing both. Something that's not allowed for women to do in my grandma's time, I have carried forward with all the challenges and still meeting Malaysian male choreographers, being the first, and in my own generation, not being allowed to dance, broke through, still standing tall to have raised a family which was told to me it's not going to succeed, standing still tall and dancing and writing the story. So the Malaysian identity, maybe it is a story for the future generation, is not just being Indian alone, but to open the mind to being global citizens. Art is about humanity, and the more we embrace, the more peaceful we become, because that's what we are. Artists have no boundaries. We just want to make art and we want to tell stories. I think that's where we should be, and that's what I look at it. So when I don't know about anything else, I just love
Thank
music.
you. That will make us ponder a little bit. Yeah, I think we will ponder on that
Thank
for
you
a
so
little
much.
bit. For Naim, what can we expect from you next?
Next lah.
Can't we? As I say, I tell you, you need to dance more.
Aduh,
We miss you dancing out there. So what do
Itulah,
you expect?
bila kita dah jadi educator ni kan, dia susah sikit lah. Sebab kita dah pergi ke another step kan. Tapi dance memang always dalam jiwa I lah. So, macam teacher cakap, the cikgu-cikgu kan, before cikgu-cikgu yang mengajar I tu, sometimes dia bagi I inspirasi untuk go forward lagi. Sebab, for me, sedih pula I. For me, sebab kita adalah pembawa, macam cakap. Kita adalah pembawa torch untuk future. Sebab our teacher dia, takkan selamanya ada. So kita lah, the younger generation yang kena bawa benda ni. So nak tak nak, you have to perform, you kena menari, you kena choreo, kena buat semua benda, because once you tak buat, siapa lagi nak buat, betul? So, itulah, nak tak nak memang kita, the younger generation yang kena
persevere.
I macam, sebab apa tah?
Positive.
Yalah, emosi pula I.
Yeah. That's all we have for this session. Thank you very much for joining us, you two. Congratulations again upon your nomination. And thanks the audience for joining us this time. I'll see you the next round.